We did some disassembly. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So as we left off in the last video, we got the LS3 TR6060 out of the 2010 Camaro and began disassembly. And in this video, we just got right into work, kind of cleaning up the motor. So let me show you guys what I got done. Here's all our parts we took off. Again, nothing really has changed there. You saw at the start of this video, we masked off the block, primed it, and painted it. Just use this color that I think is supposed to replicate aluminum. I like it, nothing too flashy. You could do a, flashy color like orange, like Chevy orange or blue or something like that. But those of you guys who know LS motors, you really can't see them at all once they're fully installed and dressed. You might be able to see like the very top of the block right there, tiny little spots. So I think that painting it a bright color sometimes doesn't really make sense. Anyways, looks brand new with just a couple coats of paint. Looking nice and clean, even though, like I said, we're not going to be able to see it. Also, got the pistons all clean, block surface all clean, lifters out, trays out. And I also just took off the oil pan. Take a look at all the rods. Everything here looks really good. Like I said, this motor was maintained, and you can tell, all the oil's clean, no sludge anywhere. None. So, we're just about ready. Other than removing the old cam, which I'm still going to wait to do. But other than that, we're basically ready to start putting parts back on. My cam stuff, all my cam parts should be here tomorrow. But in the meantime, I do have one part that we can put on to get started, and I'll show you that right now. So here's the stock LS3 oil pan. Wanted to show you guys. When I flipped the motor over, I heard a little clink, which is not something you want to hear in oil pans. So take this baffle off. And there's a little piece of plastic in here. I think where it goes, I'm glad it's down there. Probably stopped by the pickup screen. I think it would have gone right there on this tensioner. And we're replacing this tensioner with the LS2 style, which is a better design anyways, so no big deal, no harm there. No metal on the drain plug, no other real crap in here. Super clean. So nothing to see there, but this is the new oil pan. So let me get this unboxed and show you guys why we need it and the differences between the two. All right, so here's the old oil pan. Just put a fresh coat of paint on it, just in case we want to use that for another project. Here's the pickup tube. And here's the new oil pan. So you can see the new oil pan has a much shorter sump, much more shallow is I guess what I'm trying to say here. And this is basically a Holley 302 or 302-2 knockoff pan. It's a little bit cheaper, but as far as I can tell, exact same thing. Comes with your baffle, pickup tube, gaskets, bolts, and a brand new oil pan gasket. And the reason it's more shallow is because of this giant stock K-member. So the LS3 pan, or any of the truck pans that come on these motors, hangs too low and may interfere with the steering linkage there that all these first-gen cars have. So that pan is specifically designed for LS motors with the Holley mounts in this car. Also comes with oil return drains, so if we ever wanted to do single turbo or twin turbo, we're good to go there. So we have some minor assembly to do on this oil pan, so let's do that, get this assembled, and get it put on the motor. Alright, got the oil pan mostly assembled. We got our oil cooler block off plate, our adapter for our oil filter. Got the turbo drain plugs installed for now. Here's our drain plug. Flip her over. Got our baffle installed, Loctited these bolts. Obviously we don't want those coming loose. So this thing's pretty much ready to install. But the pickup tray, or the pickup tube, interferes with the stock windage tray. So basically we're gonna need to cut a section out of this windage tray to clearance for that pickup tube. But before I do that, I need to install the oil pump, so this has something to connect to. And in order to do that, I need to install my new cam, which just showed up about 30 minutes ago. So here's all the stuff I ordered, everything we need for a cam swap into our Gen 4 LS motor cam. Got some valve springs from Brian Tooley Racing, OEM LS3 head gaskets, tensioner, crank bolt, cam retainer plate, lifter trays, brand new GM LS7 lifters that I need to put in oil here, valley cover gasket, timing gear bolts, timing cover gasket, a new oil pump, which normally I'd go with Melling, but I learned that Summit, for about half the price, is now rebranding Melling oil pumps. If you take this out of the box here, look at this. Comes with a Melling sticker right on it. I'm pretty sure, where is it? If I peeled off that sticker, which I already tried, under that sticker is probably a Melling oil pump. So this is definitely Melling high pressure, high volume oil pump. We got new head bolts in there. Normally I do ARP studs, but for an NA motor, just, you know, about half the price, we'll do brand new OEM head bolts. So yeah, everything we need to do our cam swap is here. In order to put the pan on, we got to do the cam swap. So let's pop this stock cam out, get the new one in, get the new oil pump on and aligned so we can put the pickup tube on, cut our windage tray, and get our pan fully installed. Of course, can't forget, the cam that we went with is the BTR, Brian Tooley Racing, Stage 4 LS3 NA cam. One of the more radical cams you can buy. Although it's not going to have the compression or the displacement that my old LS7 used to have. Hoping that it will sound somewhat rowdy, kind of similar. Should make good power, sound really good, so that's what we did. So yeah, let's get the old one out, get this one installed. Morning. Next day here. Let me show you guys what we got done. Got the oil pan all assembled, as we showed earlier, so that's ready to go. And we also did a bunch of test fitting and mock-up on the windage tray here. Obviously the windage tray normally would come up to the frontmost mains here, but in order to clear this low clearance part in the front of the oil pan, we had to hack that off. Also clearance a little bit down here for the pickup tube. Got all these bolted down, made sure that nothing was hitting. Now the oil pan fits up here, fits nice. Correct O-rings in here. These are torqued to spec. These are all torqued. Everything's good to go. The pan fits nice. Only thing we have to do is install the gasket, apply a little bit of RTV to the corners here, and then I think we can put the oil pan in place for the final time. It comes with brand new bolts, and we can seal up the bottom of this motor. Also, it's upside down right now, but we got the cam in, all the new timing components, new high pressure, high volume oil pump, new tensioner, new balancer bolts. Gave the timing cover a fresh coat of satin black, so that looks nice. Same thing with the balancer. Yeah, all those parts that were over there, parts pallet shrinking, most of that stuff's in here now. Cam's in, aligned dot to dot, timed up, everything's good to go. So yeah, let's get this oil pan fully bolted up. And then it's reasonably warm out today. I think I'm gonna pressure wash those cylinder heads, get those ready to go. Yeah, let's just keep picking away. Starting to look like a motor. Making some progress. So got the new LS7 lifters in, OEM trays, new valley cover on with a fresh coat of paint. Oil pan's all buttoned up, torqued to spec, completely assembled, Wix filter on there, ready for fluid. Did some painting. Got a fresh coat of aluminum paint on the accessories I'm going to be using, water pump, power steering. Not sure if the alternator is going to fit yet, so I didn't paint that. And also cleaned up the heads with the power washer. So yeah, these are looking really nice. So next thing to do, we need to make the short block into a long block by adding the heads. But before we put them on the motor, it's probably a good time to install our BTR 660 Platinum valve springs. Be nice and easy to do it right here on the bench. So let's get those on, do a final cleanup of the cylinder heads, grab our new cylinder head bolts, and bolt them onto the motor. We have got ourselves a long block. So, heads are on. You guys saw I put on the Brian Tooley Racing Platinum valve springs with titanium retainers, new locks, new valve seals. That's all done, both sides. New GM LS3 head gaskets with torque to yield style OEM bolts. And yeah, torqued them all to spec in 3 steps, and we've got ourselves a completed long block here, minus push rods, which now that the heads are on and the cam's in, we can measure for those. Even gave the heads a quick little shine up here, just you know, looking pretty snazzy for how this thing looked just a couple days ago coming out of the car. So yeah, minus the intake manifold and a couple of push rods and rockers, this thing is basically a completed motor, minus accessories. And I feel safe, you know, putting some motor mounts on it and, you know, starting to test fit it in the car. But something just showed up the other day, and I just got to see how they look on the engine stand. So let's get them unboxed and toss them on. Woo! News team, assemble! Not bad. Got some speed engineering, LS swap long tube headers, 3-inch collector, all stainless steel, obviously. 1 7/8" collectors. Bolt them up, see how they fit, see how they look. Damn. Looking pretty sweet. Like that. Woo! That looks good. It looks okay. This is not going to be our final form here. I don't know why the lights are doing whatever this trippy stuff is. Maybe my lens is dirty. But anyways, the motor looks good, but we're not done yet. Had to throw the intake on, valve covers, just to see, you know, what the complete package looks like. And, you know, I think it looks pretty good. Like I said, compared to what it looked like a week ago when we pulled this thing out, this thing looks pretty darn good. But stock valve covers, not going to be in the car. The only reason I haven't ordered any new ones yet is I just want to double check clearance on the brake booster and stuff over there. I'm planning on remote mounting the coils, so it shouldn't be a problem, but didn't want to rush that. We're also going to be painting the intake manifold. I've been trying to think of different colors that would look good for the color scheme on this car. You know, metallic gray. And even though I've done it on this car already with my motor and my brake calipers, looks great on black, I just can't get it out of my head. I kind of want to do candy blue again, just like my toolbox. So I'm thinking candy blue intake manifold, maybe either black or paint matched valve covers, and then we'll figure out what we want to do with the brakes once this thing's running and driving. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think I should do in the comments. But yeah, these won't be here. This will be nice and painted, probably powder coat fuel rails, clean a lot of this up, you know, powder coated or painted throttle body. So it's going to look even better than this, especially when it's in a nice clean engine bay. But just had to throw those on just to see how, you know, the complete package looks here. So motor's basically done, and we got to get it in the car, see where we might need to do some cutting, maybe some grinding. Get the motor mounts in, transmission mount, got transmission work to do before the transmission goes in, wiring, you know, fuel system, got the fuel system part. I got parts everywhere here. You guys haven't seen any of it yet, but you're going to have to stay tuned for the next video. Not even sure which part of this we're going to tackle yet, but you guys will not want to miss it. This thing's going to be running and driving, hopefully, before we know it. So stay tuned for the next video. Find out what we're working on. See you guys next time.